Ready to roll?
Starting ready.
So, if you had to give a letter grade to the tackling this spring for the defense, what letter grade would you give so far in camp?
Personally, me, I give it a B+. Just trending in the right direction. Just coming up with a body part. Coach Rich has been emphasizing to come up with a body part every day. Out of practices, and so just working those drills. Getting on the ground early. I think that's been helping us tremendously.
Do you feel like it's been a bigger point of emphasis this spring relative to last spring, or just the same?
Most definitely a bigger emphasis this year going into it because we missed a lot of tackles last year. So this year that's the emphasis, just to get guys on the ground, as fast as possible.
Coach Riley specifically mentioned you as a guy who's had a big spring and come off from last year. What have you seen in your developmental process from last year to this point?
I'd say experience, being around the guys, being around so many different guys who had so many different goals and aspirations that I've been chasing, that I've been wanting to be. So just seeing the guys that I have surrounded myself with go on and do things that they want to do, it just motivated me to become a leader and become more of a polished person in the college football world. So me just growing up in it and now being kind of a vet now is just kind of helping people that's coming in now and kind of seeing myself, like freshman year, seeing those young guys come ask questions and stuff like that. So being that outlet for those young guys is a blessing for me, and now it's just trying to keep going.
Is there an area physically that you feel kind of?
Yeah, weight room. I think that's been a big emphasis for us this year too. It's just staying on that weight and staying on the trend, going in the right direction, just upping our weight for sure.
Coach Riley talked about the nickel position as one where you have to do a little everything. There's run support, there's pass rush, there's coverage. Which of those do you think you've improved the most on?
I would say coverage as well. Coverage because I've been working. Last year I worked a lot on my run fits and my tracks and all that type of stuff, keep my leverage. But this year I want to be more focused on my coverage skills and being able to make plays in those open fields and open those spaces on the hashes and all those type of spaces and stuff like that. So I just say zone drops and all those different type of things is a bigger emphasis for me this year.
What's the challenge with communicating when you're covering in the nickel spot? You're not on the boundary, you're kind of not on your own. There's a lot for you to do out there. Just talk about that process.
Going in, you got to let everyone, all 11 got to know what's to play. That's first. You got to communicate to play. Get lined up as you're doing it. So it's a whole process as you do it. But you have a lot of space, so you got to do it at a time frame. You have a fast clock in your head that's clicking, but it's going fast. So you have to hurry up and get your play out, get your communication, and line up and get ready to play. Sure. So that's just the mindset. A small little tick. Yes, sir.
You have Zion in your group. What have you seen from him in the spring?
He's a freak athlete, man. He just put reps behind these raw talent. I see raw talent in him. He's a great athlete. He can go up and get the ball at a high point, and he can cover really well. And he's a sure tackler for sure.
Have you seen anyone else kind of standing out, either on the offense, anywhere else in the defense, or in your room?
In my room, I can start with the young guys, CP, Christian Pierce, and Zion, like you brought up. Those guys they picked up really well. I've been seeing a lot of young guys that come up and ask questions, ask the older guys questions. How do they manage time with this in the off season, or when we get some time off? How do we, manage homework in school? Like just asking those type of questions. Those two guys have improved and showed me that they're really worth work. Zach Branch, the receiver, he's a great freak athlete, one of a kind athlete. With speed and all that type of athleticism. There's a lot of guys that's out there sticking out, but I'd say our freshman class, they've really showed me that they're here to work. So that's been my improvement.
Coaches and players talked about last year not finishing the way you wanted to finish defensively. What's the process of kind of resetting and going into the offseason and trying to, I guess, restart here?
I'd say practicing it now. I think that's the motto we've been practicing. The longer we go, the better we get, and that's just been the motto for us going in from day one of winter camp. Just putting ourselves in that position now, putting ourselves in that predicament now, to where when week 12 or week 13 down the line, we're ready for any situation.
So defending Caleb and defending Miller, you've got a lot of reps against them now. I'm just curious about kind of the cat and mouse game that's going on, about how they change things up and what that process is like for you.
That QB room is one of a kind, man. It's something that I'll never forget. Sometimes Caleb's gonna put it on the outside shoulder, sometimes Miller's gonna put it back shoulder. I mean, you never know with those two guys, man. They come with two different juice, two different energy, and every time there is no drop off from between whenever they come out in the games. One-on-ones, you know, it's just they always competing, and it's just crazy, man. They just got two different unique styles to them, throwing and competing. They just compete at a high level, and it's